Behind the gleaming lights and towering skyscrapers of Boston, shadows of hidden lives emerge in the city's forgotten corners. While tourists enjoy the beauty of Boston Common or the vibrant Seaport District, in the alleys and edges of this historic city, thousands struggle to survive without proper shelter. Boston, long known for its prestigious academic institutions and revolutionary history, is now also bearing witness to a deepening homelessness crisis. The year 2025 marks a troubling rise in homelessness across the city, revealing a widening social inequality. According to data updated in January 2024, the number of people experiencing homelessness in Greater Boston rose by about 67% compared to the previous year. The Boston Indicators report highlighted that Boston now has the second highest homelessness rate among major U.S. cities. This report came as a surprise to many. After years of making progress in reducing homelessness, the city is now seeing a significant rise in homeless households, mirroring a national trend. Official government data shows a 10.6% increase, with the number of unhoused individuals rising from 5,202 in 2023 to 5,756 in 2024. This increase has largely been driven by a combination of factors, including a severe housing crisis, policy shifts, and migration from surrounding areas into the city in search of shelter. Despite this growth, Boston has managed to keep its rate of unsheltered homelessness lower than many other large American cities, around 6% compared to the national average of 40%. However, this relatively better figure masks a far more complex reality. Many people who lose their homes are forced to stay in temporary shelters, such as government-run shelters or converted hotels. While these facilities offer short-term protection, they often fail to provide the long-term stability needed to rebuild lives. The report also revealed a stark racial disparity in homelessness. Black residents, who make up only 8% of Greater Boston's population, account for a staggering 52% of the city's homeless population. Youth and women are also increasingly impacted. Homeless individuals under the age of 18 now account for 31% of the homeless population, the highest rate among age groups. Women also experience homelessness at slightly higher rates than men, largely due to the prevalence of family homelessness in the region. Experts argue that these challenges are further compounded by the inadequacy of existing support systems, which often fall short in helping individuals escape the cycle of homelessness, particularly those who struggle with mental health conditions or substance addiction. The majority of homeless individuals in Boston seek shelter in areas near the city center, particularly in high-traffic zones like Downtown Crossing, South Station, and around MBTA stations. These places are not only easily accessible, but also offer better chances of receiving aid from active community members and nonprofit organizations operating throughout the city. Here, people without shelter often rely on the support of soup kitchens or service centers that provide food, clothing, and other basic necessities. However, as more individuals depend on the city center for shelter, the issue has begun to spill into areas outside downtown, including Boston's outskirts. Districts like Roxbury and Dorchester, once considered relatively stable, are now experiencing sharp increases in homelessness.
There's a place right down here, the Vernon Hotel. They rent rooms out, but I think it's like $150 a week or something, so I can't afford that.
As in many major American cities, living without shelter in Boston is a constant struggle. For most, survival involves securing access to food, clothing, and protection from extreme weather. Many rely on soup kitchens run by organizations like St. Francis House and Pine Street Inn, which offer free meals to those in need.
And my first thought was to come down to Pine Street.
These kitchens are more than just places to eat. They also serve as important social hubs and sources of support for many who are struggling. Emergency shelters, run by both the government and nonprofit organizations, also play a critical role in providing temporary protection. However, these facilities are often at full capacity, and the limited length of stay forces residents into a cycle of uncertainty. Some homeless individuals also depend on local community groups that establish informal shelters or provide direct aid in the form of clothing and food distributions on the street. The existence of these grassroots efforts highlights the crucial role of social solidarity in confronting Boston's worsening homelessness crisis. However, the challenges faced by the homeless go far beyond physical and logistical struggles. The social stigma attached to homelessness is often one of the biggest obstacles to receiving the support they need. Many people view them with discrimination and judgment. Indeed, discrimination and a constant sense of insecurity are everyday realities for those living on the streets. Many homeless individuals feel marginalized by society, seen as burdens or social problems, and are frequently treated with apathy or even hostility by some members of the public. Beyond the social stigma, the homeless also face the ever-present threat of violence and theft. Extreme weather, especially Boston's bitterly cold winters, adds immense pressure to those forced to sleep outside or in inadequate shelters. Many fall ill, or worse, lose their lives because they cannot access proper medical care. Mental health issues are also significant, with many experiencing stress, anxiety, and trauma born from life on the streets, further impairing their ability to escape the cycle of homelessness.
Place to be. You see people die every day. I'm getting tired of walking over needles, human waste, blood all over the bathroom.
Numerous solutions have been proposed to address Boston's homelessness crisis, though not all come without challenges. Increasing the supply of affordable housing is a critical first step, and it must be driven by policies that are inclusive and truly reflect the needs of low-income communities. Programs like single-room occupancy, SRO, or shared rental housing, already proven effective in other major cities, could serve as long-term solutions to provide temporary shelter for those who've lost their homes. However, each solution brings its own set of drawbacks and challenges. Expanding affordable housing requires substantial investment and major policy changes, which may face resistance from private developers who are often more interested in commercial real estate projects. While SRO programs may provide short-term relief, they may not be sufficient to meet the complex housing needs of all homeless individuals in the city. Therefore, the most effective approach is one that combines the efforts of government, private sector, and nonprofits to deliver more affordable housing and holistic social services. The homelessness crisis in Boston in 2025 highlights a major issue facing the city: the inability to provide adequate housing for all of its residents. Though efforts are being made, much work remains. With collective commitment and a holistic approach, Boston has the potential to overcome this crisis and ensure that every person has access to a safe and stable home. As a city rich in history and revolutionary ideals, Boston has a unique opportunity to lead by example, showing other cities how to address homelessness with empathy, resilience, and sustainable solutions.